Hey everybody, Ryan here with Rays Latest, and today I want to talk about the trade involving Justin Henry Malloy to the Tampa Bay Rays for cash considerations, as well as I kind of want to just briefly touch on the recent updates and stuff with the kind of the TV deal with FanDuel and Main Street Sports Group. But first, let's just jump into Justin Henry Malloy. He's a right-handed hitting outfielder that played for the Detroit Tigers. He was originally drafted by the Braves in 2021, then traded to the Tigers, and he he's an interesting player because of his ability to work counts, get in long at bats, and work walks, and he's got a decently high walk rate in major league games at about 12%, which is decently high for a major league level. And then in a minor league level, he was around 17.2%. So the walk rate is great, but he also has a 32% strikeout rate in the major leagues. So it's one of those things where he at a AAA level last season he hit 9 homers, hit 322 with a 453 on base percentage and a 502 slugging. And so there seems to be a disconnect between the AAA level with him and the major league level, which obviously the pitching talent at a major league level is miles better than it is at the AAA level, and that's for a reason. They're in like not dissing AAA, but AAA players are playing in AAA for a reason, and they're not on the major league roster for a reason. So some people just can't transition, and some no matter how hard they try, there's just something that doesn't click with them, and then their major league career is never successful, and that happens, and that's not necessarily saying there's a work ethic problem or anything like that, because everything I've seen from this guy is everybody loves him. He's a fantastic person, and everybody in Detroit liked him and thought that the Tigers should have gave him kind of more of a fair chance. But there's just been a disconnect, and it has been slight. It's been a small sample size. I believe he's only gotten around 300 major league at bats, but in his at bats in major leagues against lefties, he's got 104 at bats. He's only hit 3 homers, but he's got an 820 OPS, and he's walked 23 times. And so when you walk 20% of the time, he does also have 36 strikeouts as well, so the strikeout numbers are high, especially left on right. The strikeout numbers are supposed to drop a little bit, and the power numbers are kind of supposed to rise. And so him getting on base is not a problem. And I think that kind of the addition to him to the 40-man roster is more of just having the option to have a right-handed outfielder in our outfield room, because we barely have any as of right now. And just having that matchup ability to use matchups right on left and left on right kind of with free will is definitely what the Tampa Bay Rays have kind of always done. And I think with the addition of Malloy, it's a cheap option to get a right-handed outfielder that has a lot of upside potential. And a few years ago in the minors, he hit 23 homers. So it's the power numbers can be there. They just haven't been there at the highest level. And I think just a few tweaks here and there could possibly get his bat kind of at a more contact rate and less strikeouts, and you can keep the walks where they're at. And it's not like he's not working the zone, or maybe he's trying to work the zone too much, and that's why he's adding to his strikeout numbers, which could very well be the case. So I think it's interesting to kind of just see how he develops and kind of see how the Rays use him, because he's a very subpar defensive player. He was drafted as a third baseman, and he was not very good at third base, so he was moved to a corner outfield position, which he was also not very good at. And then he played some first base, which he was also not very good at. So it's one of those things where it's like, if you need the bat, do you put him at the DH? But then it's one of those things where if you put him at the DH, then Diaz and Aranda really can't play all at the same time because you have Caminero on third and you're not putting Diaz on third and taking Caminero out of the lineup. It just gets to a place where you'd have to put him in the corner outfield position. And I think the problem is that our corner outfield defensively is not good already. And so you're regressing defensive ability in the outfield as it's already not good for a right-handed hitting bat. And I think that that's just going to be a matchup scenario that Kevin Cash is going to have to deal with. And I think that it'll be interesting to kind of see where they go with that. But I do like the pickup just for cash considerations. We didn't get rid of anybody, and it does add a right-handed hitting outfielder to our already left-handed heavy outfield room. So it's intriguing to see, but I guess we'll see kind of how that unfolds and see if he can actually perform high at a major league level this season. And then the FanDuel TV deal. So Main Street Sports Group is the company that owns FanDuel Sports, and they ended up missing their January rights payments to as many as 13 NBA teams. And so what this means, it's the FanDuel Sports where you used to have the Fox Sports Sun, the Fox Sports South, all that. And then that kind of transitioned over to Bally South, Bally Sun, and then that transitioned over to FanDuel Sun. And the FanDuel is since it's a privately owned group, the market share it's a separate subscription. It's not on your cable. You have to buy it, kind of like Bally was to a certain degree, where you kind of had to buy out of market if you wanted to. But FanDuel, it does give you the option with FanDuel to kind of, I guess per se, kind of watch whatever you want to watch, like out of market games and things of that nature, which I really hadn't got into. I was more of an MLB TV guy, and I think MLB TV is a great option for people who live out of market. If you want to watch Rays games, it's you get every single one. And so I think it's interesting because if the Rays somehow don't end up getting the market share or lose the market share in the region, that's going to be really bad because the TV numbers in Tampa do very well. Because the amount of people that don't go to the games because of the distance to get from Tampa to St. Pete and things of that nature, howbeit traffic sucks, whatever it is, it's going to be interesting to kind of see how and if the Rays can maintain market share over their TV rights because of the amount of money and production that market share actually brings to Tampa Bay because of how many people don't go in person to the games but end up watching them on TV. And I mean, I lived in Panama City Beach majority of my life. I got all the Rays games. That's how far that market stretches up to the panhandle of Florida is Tampa Bay games. So it's if Tampa can't keep their market share and find a way to lose that market share, it's going to be really detrimental to the finances of the organization. And I think that they really need to find a way to be able to maintain control of that. So we'll kind of see how that goes and see how that unfolds throughout the rest of this year with them missing the payments and if they're on the verge of bankruptcy. So we'll see how kind of that resolves. But you guys let me know what you guys think about Boyle or Malloy rather, and what you guys think about this new TV deal. And you guys have a great day.